Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna. So today we're reading from Isopanishad, Isopanishad by the student is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sri Isopanishad Introduction. Teachings of the Vedas, uh, delivered as a lecture by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada on October 6, 1969 at Conway Hall, London. Ladies and gentlemen, today's subject matter is the teachings of the Vedas. What are the Vedas? The Sanskrit verbal root of the Veda can be interpreted variously, but the purport is finally one. Veda means knowledge. Any knowledge we accept is Veda, for the teachings of the Veda are the original knowledge. In the conditional state, our knowledge is subjected to many deficiencies. The difference between a conditioned soul and a liberated soul is that the conditioned soul has four kinds of defects. The first defect is he must commit mistakes. For example, in our country, Mahatma Gandhi was considered to be a very great personality, but he committed many mistakes. Even at last stage of his life, his assistant warned Mahatma Gandhi, "Don't go to New Delhi meeting. I have some, I have some friends, and I have heard there is danger." But he did not hear. He persisted in going and was killed. Even great personalities like Mahatma Gandhi, President Kennedy, there are so many of them make mistakes. To error is human. This is one defect of the conditioned soul. Another defect is to be illusion. Illusion means to accept something which is not Maya. Maya means what is not. Everyone is accepting the body as a self. If I ask you what you were, you will say, I am Mr. John, I am a rich man, I am this, I am that. All these are bodily identification. But you are not this body, this is illusion. Third defect is cheating propensity. Everyone has the propensity to cheat others. Although a person is fool number one, he poses himself as very intelligent. Although it is already pointed out that he is in illusion and makes mistakes, he will theorize, I think this, this is this, but he does not even know his own position. He writes book of philosophy, although he is defective. That is his disease. That is cheating. Lastly, our senses are imperfect. We are very proud of our senses. Eyes. Often someone will challenge, can you show me God? But do you have the eyes to see God? But you will never ever able to see if you have not the eyes. If immediately the room becomes dark, you cannot even see your hands. So what power do you have to see? We cannot therefore expect knowledge. तो यहाँ तक हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि हम लोग का कितना सारा डिफेक्ट है कंडीशन सोल का। एंड सबसे पहले यहाँ पे एक लिबरेटेड सोल और कंडीशन सोल के अंदर में जो डिफरेंस है उसको दिखाए प्रॉपर। इन लिबरेटेड सोल जो है बट दैट इज they doesn't have four kind of defects, okay, and the conditioned soul has four kind of defects. This is the four kind of defect we are seeing, हम लोग देख रहे हैं। जैसे भगवान को हम लोग देख नहीं सकते, हम लोग का आंखें नहीं है। If immediately the room become dark, you cannot even see your hand. So what power do you have to see? We cannot therefore expect knowledge Veda with these imperfect senses. With all these deficiencies in conditioned life, we cannot give perfect knowledge to anyone, nor are we ourselves perfect. Therefore, we accept the Vedas as they are. You may call the Vedas Hindu, but Hindu is foreign name. We are not Hindus. Our real identification is Varnasrama. Varnasrama denotes the followers of the Veda, those who accept the human society in 8 divisions of Varna and Ashrama. There are 4 divisions of society and 4 divisions of spiritual life. This is called Varnasrama. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. These divisions are everywhere because they are created by God. The divisions of society are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Brahmana refers to the very intelligent class of men, those who know what is Brahman. Similarly, the Kshatriya, the administrators group, and the next intelligent class of men, then the Vaishyas, the mercantile group. These natural classifications are found everywhere. This is the Vedic principle, and I accept it. Vedic principles are accepted as axiomatic truth, for there cannot be any mistake. This is acceptance. For instance, in India, cow dung is accepted as pure, and yet cow dung is the stool of an animal. तो ये गोबर के बारे में बोला जा रहा है गोबर तो गोबर और गोमूत्र बहुत पवित्र होता है लेकिन still it's a stool of an animal but still क्योंकि शास्त्र में बोला गया that's why you have to accept it in one place you'll find the Vedic injunction that if you touch stool you have to take a bath immediately but in other place it is say that the stool of a cow is pure if you smear cow dung in an impure place that place becomes pure with our ordinary sense we can argue this is contradictory. Actually, it is contradictory from the ordinary point of view, but it is not false. It is fact. In Calcutta, a very prominent scientist, doctor analyzed cow dung and found that it contains all antiseptic properties. In India, if one person tells another, you must do this, the other party might say, what do you mean? Is this a Vedic injunction that I have to follow you without any argument? Vedic injunction cannot be interpreted. But ultimately, if you carefully study why these injunctions are there, you will find that they are all correct. The Vedas are not complications of human knowledge. तो अभी तक हम लोग देखा कि जो वेदास है ओके सो ये वेदास में जो भी कुछ बोला गया है वो परफेक्ट है करेक्ट है ऑल करेक्ट तो वी हैव टू एक्सेप्ट इट द वेदास आर नॉट कॉम्प्लिकेशंस ऑफ ह्यूमन नॉलेज Vedic knowledge comes from the spiritual world from Lord Krishna. Another name for the Veda is Shruti. Shruti refers to that knowledge which is acquired by hearing. It is not experimental knowledge. Shruti is considered to be like a mother. We take so much knowledge from our mother. For example, if you want to know who your father is, who can answer you? Your mother. If the mother says, here is your father, you have to accept it. It is not possible to experiment to find out whether he is your father. Similarly, if you want to know something beyond your experience, beyond your experimental knowledge, beyond the activities of the senses, then you have to accept the Vedas. There is no question of experimenting. It has already been experimented. It is already settled. The version of the mother, for instance, has to be accepted as true. There is no other way. The Vedas are considered to be mother, and Brahma is called the grandfather, the forefather, because he was the first to be instructed in the Vedic knowledge. In the beginning, the first living creature was Brahma. तो अभी हम लोग देखा कि जो यहाँ पे एग्जाम्पल दिया गया फादर का तो आप अगर एक्सपेरिमेंट करके आपको पापा को ढूंढोगे तो आपको बहुत टाइम लग जाएगा लेकिन आप अगर आपके मम्मी से पूछोगे तो आपको तुरंत पता चल जाएगा कि आपके पापा कौन है तो ये सिंपल उपाय है सिंपल मेथड है तो यू जस्ट आस्क योर मॉम एंड ही विल टेल दैट दिस इज योर फादर ओके सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ वे वेद माता वेद भी माता जैसा है एंड ब्रह्मा जो है वो ग्रैंडफादर फोर फादर so in the beginning the first living creature was Brahma. He received this Vedic knowledge and imparted to Narada, other disciples and sons. They also distributed it to their disciples. In this way, Vedic knowledge comes down by disciplic succession. It is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita that Vedic knowledge is understood in this way. If you make experimental endeavor, if you come to some conclusion, but just to save time, you should accept. If you want to know who is your father is and if you accept your mother as an authority, then whatever she says can be accepted without argument. There are three kinds of evidence. तीन तरीके का प्रमाण होता है प्रत्यक्ष अनुमान शब्द प्रत्यक्ष means direct evidence. Direct evidence is not very good because our senses are not perfect. We are seeing sun daily and it appears as just like a small disk, but it is actually far, far larger than our many planets. Of what value is the seeing? Therefore, we have to read books. तो हम लोग जैसे डेली सूरज को देखते हैं लेकिन ये जो सूरज है एक्चुअली में बहुत बड़ा है हम लोग का आसपास में जो भी ग्रह ग्रह है सारे साथ में तो इनको कोई तुलना नहीं होगा कि इतना बड़ा साइज है ओके तो ऐसे बोला जा रहा है कि हम लोग का आंखें का जो देखना है इसमें क्या भरोसा है therefore we have to read books इसीलिए हम लोग को बुक पढ़ना चाहिए then we can understand about the sun So direct experience is not perfect. Then there is anumana, inductive knowledge. It may be like this hypothesis. For instance, Darwin's theory say it may be like this, it may be like that, but that is not science. That is a suggestion, and it is also not perfect. But if you receive the knowledge from the authoritative source, that is perfect. If you receive a program guide from the radio station authority, you accept it. If you don't, then it you don't have to make an experiment because it is received from the authoritative source. जैसे यहाँ पे बोला जा रहा है कि अगर आपको कोई रेडियो स्टेशन से कोई इंफॉर्मेशन और इंस्ट्रक्शंस मिले, you have to accept it because you are directly getting it from authority. In the similar kind of a way, the Vedas are the authorities. So whatever is instructed by Vedas, information given by Vedas, you have to accept it. Vedic knowledge is called Sabda Pramana, and other name is Shruti. Shruti means this knowledge has to be received simply by oral reception. The Vedas instruct that in order to understand transcendental knowledge, we have to hear from the authority. Transcendental knowledge is knowledge from beyond this universe. Within this universe is material knowledge, and beyond this universe is transcendental knowledge. We cannot even go to the end of the universe. So, how can we go to the spiritual world? तो यहाँ पे बोला जा रहा है कि जो ये ब्रह्मांड है, हम लोग ये ब्रह्मांड के लिए आधा भी ट्रैवल नहीं कर सकते, आधा आधा तो पूरा जाने का तो बात छोड़ दी। तो फिर अब स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड कैसे पहुंचेंगे जो हम लोग का मतलब इमेजिनेशन का एकदम बाहर में है, ठीक है ना, इतना दूर में है। Thus to acquire full knowledge is impossible. There is a spiritual sky. लेकिन देखिए हम लोग हो सकते वहां पे जा नहीं सकते हैं, लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि वहां पे स्पिरिचुअल स्काई नहीं है। स्पिरिचुअल स्काई है, ठीक है, आध्यात्मिक जगत है। देयर इज अनदर नेचर, वहां पे एक अलग जगत है व्हिच इज बियॉन्ड मैनिफेस्टेशन एंड नॉन मैनिफेस्टेशन। तो जो यहाँ पे अभी भी किसी को पता नहीं है, ठीक है, चिंतन की बाहर है। बट हाउ विल यू नो दैट देयर इज अ स्काई और द प्लैनेट्स एंड इनहेबिटेंट्स आर इटर्नल? आपको कैसे पता चलेगा कि एक ऐसा भी जगत है जहाँ पे सारे प्राणियां इटर्नल है, हमेशा जीने वाले? Okay, and this knowledge is there, but how we will make experiments is not possible. So if you experiment नहीं कर सकते, therefore you have to take the assistance of the Vedas. It's called Vedic knowledge. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we are accepting knowledge from the highest authority, Krishna. Krishna is accepted the highest authority by all classes of men. I am speaking first of the two classes of transcendentalists. One class of transcendentalists is called impersonalist, Mahavadi. They are generally known as Vedantists, led by Shankaracharya, and there is another class, transcendentalists called Vaishnavas, like Ramanujacharya, Madhavacharya, Vishnu Swami. Both the Sankara Sampradaya and the Vaishnava Sampradaya have accepted Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead. Shankaracharya is supposed to be an impersonalist who preached impersonalism, impersonal Brahman. But it is a fact that he is a covered personalist. In his commentary on Bhagavad Gita, he wrote, Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is beyond this cosmic manifestation. And then again he can confirm, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana is Krishna. He has come as the son of Devaki and Vasudev. He particularly mentions the name of his father and mother. So Krishna is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead by all transcendentalists. There is no doubt about it. Our source of knowledge in Krishna consciousness is the Bhagavad Gita, which comes directly from Krishna. तो यहाँ पे हम लोग देखा कि भगवान, हाँ, भगवान जी जो है वो कौन है, उनके बारे में भी अलग अलग ग्रेट ऑथोरिटी बोले हैं। तो who is God? Krishna. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So we have to accept it. Okay. So both sampradaya, both all the authentic sampradayas, transcendentalists, they all have accepted Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. So our senses of knowledge of Krishna consciousness is the Bhagavad Gita, which comes directly from Krishna. We have published the Bhagavad Gita as it is because we accept Krishna, he is speaking without any interpretation. That is Vedic knowledge. Since the Vedic knowledge is pure, we accept it. Whatever Krishna says, we accept it. This is Krishna consciousness. that saves much time. If you accept the right authority or source of knowledge, uh, then you save much time. For example, there are two systems of knowledge in the material world, inductive and deductive. From deductive, you accept that man is mortal. Your father says man is mortal. Your sister says man is mortal. Everyone says man is mortal, but you do not experiment. If you accept it as a fact that man is mortal, if you want to research to find out whether man is mortal, you have to study each and every man, and you have may come to think that there may be some man who is not dying, but you have not seen him yet. So in this way, your research will never be finished. In Sanskrit, this process is called aroha, the ascending process. If you want to attain knowledge by any personal endeavor, by exercising your imperfect senses, you will never come to the right conclusion. That is not possible. There is a statement in the Brahma Samhita, just ride on the airplane, which runs at the speed of mind. Our material airplanes can uh, run 2000 miles per hour. But what is the speed of mind? You are sitting at home, you immediately think of India, 10,000 miles away, and at once it is in your home. Your mind is gone there. The mind speed is so swift. Therefore, it's stated if you travel at this speed for millions of years, you will find that spiritual sky is unlimited. सोचिए कि अगर हम लोग मन का जो गति है मन की गति से भी मिलियंस ऑफ ईयर मतलब लाखों करोड़ों साल भी ट्रैवल कर लेंगे फिर भी हम लोग आध्यात्मिक जगत को पहुंच नहीं पाएंगे इतना दूर है इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल इवन टू अप्रोच इट इनका आसपास में जाना भी पॉसिबल नहीं therefore the Vedic Indian says that one must approach the word compulsory is used. A bona fide spiritual master, a guru, and what is qualification of spiritual master? तो हम लोग क्या करना है गुरु का शरण लेना है अभी गुरु के क्वालिफिकेशन हम लोग यहाँ पे पढ़ रहे हैं He is one who has rightly heard the Vedic message from the right source. He must practically be firmly established in Brahman. These are the two qualities, otherwise he is not bona fide. Krishna consciousness movement is completely authorized from Vedic principle. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says the actual aim of Vedic research is to find out Krishna. In the Brahma Samhita, it is also stated Krishna, Govinda has innumerable forms, but they are all alone, all one. अलग अलग भगवान का अलग अलग अवतार है रूप है फॉर्म है बट कृष्णा इज द सुप्रीम पर्सनालिटी फ्रॉम कृष्णा that Adi Purusha or other they are not like our forms which are fallible. The form is infallible. My form has a beginning, but this form has no beginning. It is Ananta and it forms so many multiforms. Has no end. My form is sitting here, not in my apartment. You are sitting there, not in your apartment. But Krishna can be everywhere at the same time. तो भगवान का एक क्वालिटी है कि वो हमेशा एक साथ में सब जगह में रह सकते हैं ऐसा नहीं कि वो स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में है तो मेटेरियल वर्ल्ड में नहीं एक साथ में दो जगह में रह सकते हैं दो जगह बात छोड़िए हर एक अनुपरमाणु के अंदर में ही वो विराजमान है एक साथ he can sit down in Golok Vrindavan at the same time he is everywhere all power he is original the oldest but whenever you look at a picture of Krishna you will find young boy 15 or 20 years old you will never find an old man you have seen picture of Krishna as a charioteer from Bhagavad Gita. At the time, he was not less than 100 years old. He had great grandchildren, but he looked just like a boy. Krishna, God, never becomes old. That is his supreme power. And if you want to search out Krishna by studying the Vedic literature, then you will be baffled. It may be possible, but it is very difficult. But you can very easily learn about him from his devotees. Devotee can deliver him to you. Here he is taken. That is the potency of Krishna's devotees. तो हम लोग को भगवान को जानना है तो उनका जो भक्त है उनको अप्रोच करेंगे तुरंत तो हम लोग को बता देंगे कि भगवान कहाँ है भगवान के बारे में Originally there was only one Vedas and there was no necessity of reading it. People who were so intelligent had such sharp memories that by once hearing from the lips of spiritual master, they would understand. तो पहले लोग इतना बुद्धिमान होते थे, एक बार गुरु का मुख से सुन लेते थे क्या, तो उसी से उनको याद रह जाता था, बार बार पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. They would immediately grasp the whole purpose. But 5,000 years ago, Vyasdev put the Vedas in writing for the people in this age of Kali Yuga. लेकिन व्यासदेव को पता है कि कलयुग का लोग का क्या हाल है, इसीलिए उन्होंने लिख दिया. He knew that eventually the people would be people eventually the people would be short-lived. Their memories would be very poor, and their intelligence would not be very sharp. Therefore, let me teach this Vedic knowledge in writing. He divided the Vedas into four: Sama, Atharva, and Jajur. तो इसीलिए कलियुग के लोगों के लिए उन्होंने ये जो राइटिंग किया, इससे पहले ये राइटिंग का जरूरत नहीं था, क्योंकि सब लोगों को तो ऐसे ही याद रह जाता है. लेकिन अभी कलियुग का जो लोग हैं उनको ऐसे याद नहीं रहेगा, इसीलिए उन्होंने थोड़ा राइटिंग कर दिया. तो या तो हम लोग क्या देखे, चार वेदास है. एंड देन ही गेव द चेंज ऑफ द वेदास to his different disciples. He then thought of the less intelligent class of men, the Sri Sudras Bijabandhunam. He considered the women class Sudra and Bijabandhu worker class. Bijabandhu refers to those who are born in a high family but who are not properly qualified. Okay, like caste brahmanas. A man who is born in the family of brahmana but is not qualified as brahmana is called Bijabandhu. Okay, ये बहुत important. बस थ्रेड लगा लिया और मांस मछली खा रहे, दबा रहे, कोई नियम नहीं कर रहे, ऐसे ब्राह्मण नहीं. टाइटल ब्राह्मण होने से नहीं होता है, क्योंकि क्वालिटी होना चाहिए, qualified होना चाहिए. For these persons, he compiled Mahabharata, called the history of India, and 18 Puranas. These are all part of the Vedic literature. The Puranas, the Mahabharata, and the four Vedas and Upanishads. Upanishads are part of the Vedas. Then Vyasadeva summarized all Vedic knowledge for scholars, philosophers, in what is called Vedanta Sutra. This is the last word of the Vedas. Vyasadeva personally wrote the Vedanta Sutra under the instructions of Narada, Guru Maharaj, spiritual master. But still, he was not satisfied. That is a long story described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Vedas was not very satisfied, even after compiling many Puranas and Upanishads, and uh, even after writing the Vedanta Sutra, then his spiritual master Narada instructed him, you explain the Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta means ultimate knowledge. Ultimate knowledge is Krishna. Krishna says that throughout all the Vedas, one has to understand him. Vedanta Veda Videva Chaham. Krishna says, I am the compiler of the Vedanta Sutra and I am the knower of the Vedas. Therefore, the ultimate objective is Krishna. That is explained in the Vaishnava commentaries on Vedanta philosophy. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas have one commentary, Vedanta philosophy, called Govinda Bhasya by Baladev Vidyabhushan. Similarly, Ramanujacharya has commentary and Madhavacharya has one. The version of Shankaracharya is not the only commentary. There are many Vedanta commentaries, but because the Vaishnavas did not present the first Vedanta commentary, people are under the wrong impression that Shankaracharya is the only Vedanta commentary. Besides that, Vyasdev himself wrote the perfect Vedanta commentary. Srimad Bhagavatam begins with the first words of the Vedanta Sutra, Janmadi Yasya. And the Janmadi Yasya is fully explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Vedanta Sutra simply means at what is Brahman, the absolute truth. The absolute truth is the form whom everything emanates. This is summary, but it is explained in detail in Srimad Bhagavatam. If everything is emanating from the absolute truth, then what is the nature of the absolute truth? That is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. The absolute truth must be conscious. He is self-effulgent Swarat. We develop our consciousness and knowledge by receiving knowledge from others, but for him it said that he is self-effulgent. The whole summary of the Vedic knowledge is Vedanta Sutra, and Vedanta Sutra is explained by the writer himself in Srimad Bhagavatam. It finally requires those who are actually after Vedic knowledge to try to understand the explanation of all Vedic knowledge from Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So we have, if we want to develop our consciousness, spiritual consciousness, we have to read Vedic scriptures, and that will help us to develop our spiritual consciousness.